Ndabezitha. The whites have arrived, Sigit.
So I see. That girl, Mkobozi, the one they say came back to life, was she really dead?
Yes, Ndabezitha. In my opinion, she was.
Inform their chief and the Sangoma that they may enter the royal kraal.
Ndabezitha. The whites are magicians, Shaka. They work with illusion. They have taught us to live in reality. Even if the whites had 100 lives each, those lives would be not worth a single dedicated life of one Zulu, because we are superior.
The Leopard is also superior, Mkobozi. He is a sovereign among the masters. Each proud day of his life is worth 100 days in the life of a raven. Yet if the Leopard were offered wings to fly, it would be foolish to refuse them.
No, Shaka. The Leopard's kingdom is the earth. On the earth, he is the master. In the skies, he becomes a victim. If the whites offer you wings, it is because they wish to make you their victim.
Do you hear that, Ngoma? He's been with the whites for a few days, and already he fears for the security of the state. Their powers must be great indeed. Puma!
Nice one, Alan. Swords.
Yeah. Basically,
yeah, man.
just want to talk in this particular section about certain techniques in the Kung Fu system that are normally screwed upon and looked upon as if, you know, for example, that they have no bearing in today's society and in today's teachings, for example. And those techniques I'm going to talk about first and foremost right here would be the crane fist, which is the crane. Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about the leopard, which is known as Pao Choi, of which I've heard this been called a monkey fist, if I'm not mistaken. But actually, this is a leopard, which is, again, we'll go into that in a second. You know, what happens is I hook here,
Yep.
and I have a hook hand with a striking technique that comes straight out, namely known as the beak. What I want you to see as, for example, what I want to describe it to you as is a parry, of which that's what basically it is. So if you throw a punch in, yeah, and I was a boxer, I'm going to be parrying. But in Kung Fu, we do things a little bit different. So when he punches in, this is crane, he comes in, we parry with a hook. He comes with an attack, he comes in, and it's just going to hook. As you can see, I'm just giving you the momentum of what it basically is doing. This is a hooking hand, so even if you threw the other hand, it's the same thing. Here again, we're just going to hook. So it's kind of sneaky. Instead of, as a boxer does it, instead of parrying here, and you say you keep throwing your punch, yeah? Instead of just parrying like a boxer would here, with this particular motion, not only does it parry, yeah, it also catches and it hooks. That's why we call it hooking hand. So that's some of the mechanics of what the crane's doing. So if he's attacking in, I've come straight in.
Straight in with the crane, innit, Alan?
As in basically straight in with the crane's beak, basically. It goes straight in, because these type of techniques with the crane, once you strike with it, you actually strike with the actual beak itself.
Wow, man.
As you attack with it. So for example, like you usually go for the eyes. But I'll say something, for example. This type of technique is high level. You don't do this as a student. You don't use crane beak as somebody who just started learning. This takes many years to master. Even myself, I know how to use techniques like crane, but I particularly wouldn't really just use my fingers all the time, because these do take time. I mean, let's not look down on the people who have taken many years of training their fingers and building their conditions up to a point where it just shows you their level. It's not like you can't do it with a fist, but the level they're just showing is how high they are. As in basically they can actually attack you with the actual beak. So when you attack with the beak, you attack, you strike, and it hooks. So i.e. if that was the eye, you go straight for the eye, hook the eye out. The other thing about crane is you don't just attack with the fingers. You don't just strike with the fingers. You also strike with the back of this here. The back of the fist here, basically. So for example, if he attacks in and I block and I come back in, I'm going to attack with the back of this thing here. Of which this particular technique is as dangerous as basically can be, because you're hitting with the actual back fist here to the nose. So for example, even if your position's like this, you can use this in very small space
Yeah.
to actually break or injure something. Or like if you're attacking, and I use this, I can even use it as a strike on the limb. It's a strike on the limb as well.
Yeah.
So not only does it use the fingers, it also uses the back here of the actual beak. So that's the beak end.
Very
so for example,
interesting.
Attacking, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's a hooking hand,
Uh-huh.
which is actually a lot more complicated than just a simple parry or a boxing technique. It involves parrying, literally. Yeah. So I'm just showing you that momentum, just to show you the speed of it. And say you come in here, straight in. Yeah? Do that again. As it comes, you see as I hit, literally coming straight in. Straight. Hook it. And you hit towards points on the body. Because it's a point hitting technique. As in you can hit basic points to the throat, X, Y, and Z. Back of the ear here. Some of the points in the back of the ear. Or just strike down on the temple here, where that can disorientate an opponent basically. Say if you're holding me, just hold on to me, both hands for example, you can use the crane beak to strike up, see?
Yeah.
Use the crane beak to strike up. And from there, once you straight back in with the actual crane beak. So even if your attack's in, this is still crane, still coming with that. Still going to strike with those techniques. This way, that way. So for example, as it comes in, with technique I can still come from here and still use the crane to keep coming and use that technique to keep going. So there's a lot of diversity basically to the crane, of which it looks something similar to this as you practice the crane. Yeah. Then we're going to talk about the leopard, as our man Shaka in the very beginning was talking about.
Oh yes.
When he was talking about the leopard.
Shaka Zulu.
Shaka Zulu.
Yes, and we're
The warriors.
yes.
Shaka Zulu warriors.
But basically what he's talking about is we're all about leopard. Yeah. Of which the leopard, in relation to the snake strikes with the fingers. Wherever the fingers go, so can the leopard. So what we teach us for again would be to somebody who's a beginner or new to learning these arts, because I'm not going to teach my student to go out there and strike somebody with the fingers if he's not conditioning himself. And mind you, conditioning your fingers don't happen overnight. It takes a lot of time. So that's why we use the leopard. So you're straight ready to go and fight. And the leopard, Pao Choi, is ready to strike straight away. So you use this particular piece right there, which are knuckles. Have a feel of it yourself.
Man, that's solid.
Have a mess around with it yourself. So for example, if he attacks in, and I'm using leopard, straight in, you see the power and the speed? Straight to the throat.
I can
Just
hear
like
the
how
power as well.
Just like how you throw a jab. See? That's how you throw a jab. Or strikes from a boxing. All I'm just using is I'm exchanging it now with a leopard. So you can attack in, straight in. Straight to these points at the temple, back of the ear, back here, here. Or you could even attack in, yeah? Come straight to points like here. Straight to points like this. Yeah? For example, so leopard as well can be used in the, so you may attack in, can be used to I'm looking to even attack into, you know, points on the actual body.
Yep.
And again, back of the ears, and just striking with that particular leopard. So the leopard basically is a very powerful, fast technique. It's a
Sure is.
fast, explosive power, of which you're attacking in with instant power, basically, to hit particular points. And it's not a monkey knuckle, it's a leopard paw. So they call it, because they're obviously copying, or basically the first thing that they came up with was from an animal, which used it as a leopard paw. But I'm a human being, and I can also hold my hands in that motion. But it's a perfect motion to basically use to be able to strike somebody with, you know? So we'll just show that again one quick time before we close up here, what type of technique the leopard's coming with. You're coming in, yeah? Those are the motions. All those techniques, which are to hit vital points basically that you cannot usually hit if I was using the fingers, right? It might be a bit more safer for me to use the leopard where I'm guaranteed to actually strike.
Yep.
So if you're a beginner, these are techniques that can teach you instantly, that you can go out and fight with, as opposed to taking many years to build up, because the crane is highest level stuff because of the use of the fingers. But this doesn't happen from nothing, because you've taken X amount of time to build the power up to be able to get to that position, particular point where you can actually use these techniques.